All right, good morning, everyone. Let's get right into it. I haven't really looked at NASDAQ too much, so I'm going to be marking out all the zones. Looking at NASDAQ over the weekend, it's down 2.2%, which is honestly a pretty big move, not gonna lie. So we'll see if today continues to move down or if we see a pullback. If you zoom out onto the 4 hour time frame, you can see that this range that we were in for about 2 weeks here, this one right here on the 4 hour, we actually broke through. It kind of looks like we retested it right here, which was yesterday, and then we rejected it again, which makes it look very bearish. But I think there's still a bit more room to go lower down to these lows here and see if we could bounce off of there, either sweep liquidity or break lower, right? If we break lower, then of course the next stop's going to be lower, but we'll see. Today's all about how strong the market's going to open, and I think it's the first actual day of the markets opening up after all of the news that came out over the weekend, which includes the Trump's credit card rate cap news, Canada's CPI looks like that dropped it. What's another? Trump tariff threat on Europe spark risk on rally. I don't know. A bunch of news came out that just caused this huge move down. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure if it's going to continue lower. I wouldn't be surprised if it does continue to go lower just because today is the first actual day where the market is open. So we'll see. But I also wouldn't be surprised if, we go all the way back up here to fill the gap or something. I see this 4 hour supply zone looks very strong, and it's just kind of far away though, about 155 points away. So not too close, not too close. I'm also gonna mark out this gap here that the market hasn't tapped into at all. And this gap here is huge. This gap is 200 points. So if we go around this area, I think we're either gonna partially fill it, or just tap into it and then reject it. I also see this 4 hour demand zone, which I was looking at last week since we bounced off of it, but we gapped right through it. So, which is huge. I always think if we break past a 4 hour zone, that it's a huge sign for a change in direction. Okay, there's no 4 hour zone. Right now, what I'm gonna look for is why did price bounce off of this area? Hopefully, there's a zone. Okay, not much on the 3 hour time frame. Down to the 2 hour. Okay, I mean I don't see much on the 2 hour time frame, but this kind of looks like a 2 hour demand zone down here. So maybe if we break those lows, this could be the next stop. I'm also gonna mark these lows here as liquidity just so I know it's there. Okay, perfect. This is a 1 hour demand zone here, and it looks like the market bounced off of that. And how far is it? Damn, it's still kind of far away from price. It's about 126 points. I mean, we could get down here when the market does open up, but I want to get that initial breakout. Um, this up here kind of also looks like a 1 hour zone. I mean, kind of don't want to mark it since this 4 hour zone's right on top of it, but I'll mark it out because it does look pretty clean. Okay. I'm also just going to chart way farther away from price than what I usually do, just in case we do get a crazy open. But it is possible that today will be choppy. It's very possible. I feel like it's not going to be choppy though, just because it is the first day that the market's actually opened since this news came out. So I think we should see a crazy reaction. But something that I'm kind of used to with NQ is like if you expect a crazy day, usually it'll be choppy. When was it? I think it was, I don't remember when, but it was just a day that everyone thought it was going to be like a crazy open, and it was the complete opposite. So I also like to just remind myself, like, Lonnie, don't be too excited to come to the markets today because you could be excited for nothing. Okay, I'm down to the 90-minute time frame. Looking for zones. I don't see too many. Don't see much. Okay, this 2 hour zone's also a 90-minute zone. Not gonna mark it. And okay, 45-minute. Let's see if there's anything. I was hoping to see some sort of zone kind of around this area here on NASDAQ, but it looks like there's nothing. Let's go over here. Over here doesn't even matter either because I already have a zone. So let's go down to the 30-minute. Not much. I mean, this kind of is a 30-minute zone. I'm not gonna mark it though. I'd rather focus down here where the market actually did bounce off. Down to the 15-minute time frame. And okay, this looks like a small 15-minute supply zone here. I like this supply zone. We can see a clean reaction off of it right here. If I take a trade off of this 15-minute though, I'm gonna want to see some sort of retest. Like if I take a buy off of this, I would want to see something like that. Like if it opens and it goes straight up like that, I'm going to miss out on the move. If I do miss out on these longs, then I would just wait for the market to tap this 4 hour supply zone. So I'm not too worried if I do miss out on that move. But I would like the longs here. If price does get above 294, I think it would be good longs. Good longs up to the 400s. Would I target all the way up here? Honestly, no. I would just target around 60 points, around 200 ticks. Basically a 1 to 2, and I'd be satisfied for the day. Looking at NASDAQ as well, there's kind of this pre-market range here. Kind of. Is not the best one. Did I trade yesterday? No. Not at all. I was looking at the markets and I saw I could have kind of taken longs, but it wouldn't have been like what it usually is. Like the longs came in, but they came in, I think it was like around 10:05 or something. It did bounce off of a demand zone, but I just know if I actually traded it, I wouldn't have taken the zone, or I wouldn't have taken the trade because of the timing. So it was also just very low volume. So it was expected for it not to do a crazy move. I expected it to go back into the range, which is what it did. And to me, it just made sense because I knew it was going to be low volume. It's a bank holiday. The big guys were not going to be trading. But yeah, I didn't trade. I was just like, let me just wait till Tuesday. Because good volume is my best friend with trading. I need good volume. Alright, I think this is it for the zones on NASDAQ. Honestly, they're not the best. Like, if the shorts do come in at if the shorts do come in around 9:30, I think I'm gonna miss out on most of that move. Let's just say it shorted around here. I wouldn't really have a way of entering it unless I would take the shorts if we tap into this area and I see something like that. If I see us rejecting this area here, then I would take shorts. Honestly, though, I'm expecting a very strong opening, so I'm kind of expecting a breakout. But we'll see. I'm not trying to, predict the market. I'm just trying to see I'm trying to read it. If we look at the liquidity that is left, session liquidity, I guess that's what it's called. There's Asian highs and London highs. So I think a lot of people are probably bullish. Not gonna lie though, seeing this liquidity here honestly doesn't make me exactly bullish. I like to focus more on the zones. So we'll see. I do see this going bullish though. If it gets above 295, above this area here, I think it'd be a perfect long. So we'll see. Let's look at US 30. I still have my charting from Friday. And what I was looking at, not yesterday, but no, I guess it was yesterday. The zone I was looking at was this 4-hour demand zone here. I guess I should just erase it, right? Let me see the daily though. Okay. If I look at the daily time frame, there is a daily demand zone here, which I think would be a really good target throughout the week. If the week is bearish, I think we'll easily come down here to 48,178. And if I go short today, I think it'd be a good target. But anyways, this daily demand zone, we've bounced off of this area 3 times already. So it's pretty strong. I think if we tap into this area, it'd be a good area to bounce off from. If price gets below the zone, then I think the markets would switch over to bearish on the bigger time frames. Or I think, we could go way lower to these lows down here. I could also see that happening. But let's look at the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, this area here, this 4-hour demand zone here, was the one I was looking at, because on Wednesday we bounced off of it right here, and then on Monday we were also kind of bouncing off of it. We just weren't breaking structure to the upside. But the fact that US 30 overnight, is this overnight? No, it's not overnight. I'm lying. Well, kind of. Yeah. No, I'm lying. It was overnight because it was at 10 p.m. Yesterday at night, we broke past this 4-hour demand zone, which is also this same thing as NASDAQ. We were in this range here for about 2 weeks, and we broke out of it yesterday to the downside. We kind of haven't retested it though, so if the market does come back up, I think this would be a good area for it to retest. But yeah, this 4-hour zone here I think is very, very strong. I also see another 4-hour zone right here, which the market hasn't tapped into, so I think we should tap into it today. I think if the market opens up, hopefully it comes lower, so we tap this 4-hour demand zone. Then from there, I think it'd be a really good trade. Down to the 3-hour time frame, don't see much. 2-hour, not much. I am gonna mark this gap here, but I think this gap will only get filled if the market bounces. Okay, and the gap, I'm just gonna color orange. That's just what I do. This area here is also a 2-hour demand zone. I'm not gonna mark it though, since I already have a 4-hour zone right there. Down to the 1-hour time frame. I mean, like, this looks like a 1-hour supply zone here. I'll mark that. Man, this could have been a zone here as well, but it just doesn't have a continuation down. So I'm not gonna mark it. Okay, down to the 90-minute time frame. Nothing much. On the 45-minute, this could have been a good 45-minute zone here. Let me see what it looks like on the smaller time frame. Yeah, if the market didn't do this on a 1-minute time frame, I would have thought this was a perfect zone, especially since they rejected it over here. Let me see how it looks on the 5. Yeah, even on the 5-minute, it just got chopped on. Man, I really would have liked this zone if the market didn't chop on it. Okay, nothing much on the 45-minute time frame. If this 9 a.m. candle continues lower, then this could easily become a supply zone. Down to the 30-minute, I mean, this could be a 30-minute demand zone though. I don't think I would take a trade off of it though, because there is a 4-hour demand zone right below it. But I'll mark it down since we haven't really tapped into it. Another kind of trade idea that I could take off of this 30-minute zone is if price breaks past 719, then I think it'd be a good short down to 618, which that move would be it'd be around 100 points, but my entry would most likely be down here. So if I do take shorts off of this area, I would have to break even fast. And I would expect it to break past this 50% line, which could happen with really good volume. Yeah. And then this right here also looks like a 30-minute supply zone. I'm not going to mark it since the market already chopped on the zone. If the market didn't chop up on the zone, then I would have marked it, but it's just not clean enough. And I mean, I think that's it. That's it for the zones. I'm going to check over here. Okay, I mean, I know it's small. This 15-minute demand zone in here, which is also inside of the 4-hour demand zone. I'm just going to mark it though. I like the move that it did. I think it's very strong. I also like this zone right here. Yeah. I think if the market goes lower than 616 or 615 around this area here, I think if it's strong enough, it should short down to the 400s over here. That's what I'm thinking. But I also got to keep in mind that we could bounce off of this 600 area down here. If it does bounce, then I'll take the longs. Yeah. Let me mark this. And I think if we do bounce off of this area, I think it'd be a clean long up to, what is this? 49,000. How do you say this? The zeros, 49,000 flat right over here. I think that'd be a good long. Am I going to hold the trade for this whole move, no, right? Because I don't need that crazy of a move. Realistically, on US 30, I would only need around 100 points. So, yeah. Do we have any high impact news today? What day is it? The 20th. We don't have any high impact news today. If it says we have any high impact news, it's most likely for another country. But yeah, I thought this was cool on this thing here. Or is it? Yeah, it kind of just shows you what news came out that pushed the market down. Looks like Canada CPI kind of caused it to move lower. And then the Trump's credit card rate cap news, which I honestly have no idea what that is. I've read the headlines, right? But I haven't really read the actual news. I'm not much of a reader, so that's why. And then over here it says another Trump tariff threat on Europe. I also saw another headline, which was, I think it was about the UK, about how they might go into a recession because of tariffs. It was something like that. It was very interesting. And last time I saw another country kind of not go into a recession, but last time I saw another country's market go really bad, it affected the US stocks a lot. And that was when I think it was the Japanese yen. It I don't know what happened to it, but it went down. And it was one of the craziest markets I've ever seen. And the drop off of it was crazy as well. But I'm getting off track here. Now that I have all the zones marked out, I'm going to mark out support and resistance on the 1 hour time frame. And then we'll see how the market opens up. If you didn't trade yesterday, you're probably very excited to trade today, especially seeing the move that has been happening on NASDAQ. You're probably very eager to trade, just like I am. But you also just have to remember that the market could be slow today. Is a possibility. So just keep that in mind. Why is Nasdaq so bearish today? Probably just the news that came out over the weekend and stuff. I see the NQ going up to Asian highs or even previous day highs. I was like, what's PDH? But I remembered previous day highs. What's up? Your boy Sam. Glad to see you on YouTube. Thank you. Trump tariffs decision today at 10 a.m. Oh, is it really? Damn. If that really comes out at 10, that might be a little bit crazy. The Trump tracker looks low. Let me search it up. Search it up. Damn, I'm not seeing much. I do see that. I do see it. Supreme Court could decide today Trump's tariffs. Yeah, if that comes out today, then see, if it comes out good, I could see like the market fully filling in the gap. If it comes out bad, I can see us going lower, you know. I mean, that Supreme Court thing, it could come out good, yet the market could go lower. So it really doesn't matter what news comes out. What does matter is how the market reacts to it. Because I used to be the trader that would like read the news to like get a bias, and it didn't work out. Like there's just been many times where like bad news comes out and the market still goes up. You That's why I just like to focus on the market itself and not really read the news, cuz I don't want to create a bias off of it, you know? It's messed me up before. I think the best way to trade news would be like if you're an insider, you know? If you're Nancy, then you get a really good trade there. Or another way that I would trade news is the CPI candle, right? And set orders. But other than that, like if you're trying to read the news to get a bias, it's just not gonna work out. Okay, let me mark a bit more. We got 4 more minutes for market to open. I think the zones on US 30 and NASDAQ are really good. I do like them. It just comes down to which one has more volume and honestly which one taps into the zone quicker. Which it kind of looks like US 30 is going to tap into this 4 hour zone way quicker. Or even this 30-minute zone right here. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't take a trade off of this 30-minute though. But if I see like the clean retest, the break and retest, I know I would take it. If it looks clean. Okay, gotta do support and resistance really quick on NASDAQ. Boom. I hope you remember me. Yes, I remember you, Joshua from India, I think. I think. I'm pretty sure. Dow Jones looks bearish to me. It looks bearish to me too. I could see like the opening just shooting straight down. US 30s like that. But we'll see. We'll see. Let me not create a bias. For some reason, when I create a bias, the bias for me is only good if it actually works out, right? But if I'm wrong on the bias, then I'm not gonna really read the market correctly. You know? I don't know how to explain it, but I just like to go with the flow. That's when I really trade the best. Oh damn, there's nothing in this area. Okay, I see something. Alright, we got 1 more minute, so actually 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Let's see. Oh damn, we haven't touched up on VWAP for about 9 hours almost. And here's a touch on VWAP right here. Boom. Now that I see VWAP on Nasdaq, I don't think I am gonna take a trade off of this 15-minute zone that I have. I think I'll sit that one out and wait for it to, if it does go higher, I'll wait for it to tap the 400s. But yeah, there's VWAP. Let's see if we reject it. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken longs on Nasdaq unless it broke the highs as soon as this second candle opened up, but it didn't do that. So either way, I wouldn't have taken longs at this area here. Yeah, that looks like a really good rejection off of this 15-minute supply zone and VWAP. Um, Not gonna lie though, the only way I would take shorts is if I see like a really good retest of the zone, but we'll see. So it also kind of looks like we're gonna chop up around this area. I'm kind of hoping it just goes straight down from here, get farther away from VWAP. That's what I want to see. There's the retest of the zone. Yeah, I like shorts on NASDAQ. I kind of want to wait for the 5 minute to close. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to look at US 30 more. Honestly, though, it's not that clear to me like other days. Is really clean the trade. Today, though, just going to wait for the 5 minute to close, most likely. And since US 30's farther away from VWAP and closer to these bigger time frame zones, I'm most likely going to be trading US 30 if it does continue to go lower. Nasdaq though, oh, Nasdaq's moving clean. I hope Nasdaq touches up on the 400s. If it does touch up on the 400s, then I would look for a trade. We'll see. Still not sure if I'm going to trade US 30 or Nasdaq. It's really just down to which one touches up on these zones first. Here's a 5 minute candle in about 10 seconds here on NASDAQ. I think there's really good volume. The first 5 minute candle is over 100 points, which is really good volume. It also closed above VWAP. which I like. I like that. I hope we get farther away from it. I also wouldn't have taken these longs unless I saw a retest. So either way, I think I would have missed out on these longs. And honestly, I was thinking shorts if we broke below this 1 minute wick here, but it didn't do that. So I just haven't gotten entry confirmations yet. Not gonna lie. Dog's going crazy. And then it's just this area for me is just tricky to trade on Nasdaq because of VWAP. I don't know. I've lost too many trades around VWAP, so I rather just wait it out here. But I mean, I like the 5 minute candle close. It closed out very strong. Damn, US 30 looks nasty. How big is the opening? I mean, the opening's good on US 30, but like, there's just no direction yet. US 30 is also still inside of this kind of this pre-market range here. I don't know. Nothing's really clear to me just yet. I'm gonna have to wait and see. I do want to see Nasdaq bounce around this area here. I do. If I see a bounce off of this area on Nasdaq, I think that'll be a good sign for the market respecting its levels. You know? Yeah, because this area here was resistance. Now I kind of want to see it turn into support. Since we did close out strongly above it, and we also just closed out above VWAP. If the market does not bounce around this area here, then honestly I'm just gonna have to wait for it to go all the way down here, which is kind of far away. We'll see. We'll see. There's really good volume, which is good. I do like the volume. It's definitely a good day to trade micros, you know? For sure. Like if you're trading on a 50K account with one full contract with this market on Nasdaq, you're either you know? Like, yeah. I mean this move here 100 ticks with one full contract, that's $500 that you'd be risking, which on a 50K account I would say is a bit too much. It's very aggressive. So if you want to play it aggressive, then it's perfect. But if not, then I would definitely size down to micros. Yeah. And then with US 30, it's like if it does go up to this 4 hour zone up here, it it wouldn't be it wouldn't be as clean because this isn't really a clean 4 hour zone. This would be like a retest area here. Okay, 5 more minutes for the 15-minute candle to close. Nasdaq struggling to bounce at this area. I would take shorts on Nasdaq if the 1 minute candle closes below 256, and then I see something like that, and I would take shorts. But honestly, it wouldn't be an A plus setup, so it'd be a risky play. Or if it retests 273 and then it comes back down, then I would like the shorts. But I mean, this 1 minute chart here doesn't look clean at all. So yeah, here's the retest. I mean, like if it breaks these lows pretty soon, then I think it'd be a good short. But it's also just kind of dangerous because it's moving sideways so far. Yeah, right back to VWAP. This shit is chopping up on VWAP, so it's. You can't hear me? Can you guys hear me? I took a long off open there. Got a 50-point move. Yeah, get your moving. Call it a day, because I don't know. This is exactly what I was talking about here. It's just like everyone was excited to trade, especially after the crazy move over the weekend. And like nothing much really happens. It happens a lot. It happens a lot. I think it happened last week. Yes, I think it did. It was a day where the market sold off like crazy overnight, and then everyone was like excited. I was excited for open, and then the opening was weak. It was low volume, and the rest of the day was moving sideways, which is not good for me. And it's what it's doing now. So honestly, guys, I'm gonna be patient. I do like the zones that we're close to. It's just we're not getting close to them soon. 2 more minutes for the 15-minute candle to close. Would I trade the opening range or the orb trade? Honestly, no. I wouldn't. I wouldn't even look at the orb. I mean, I'm gonna mark it out because I do like marking out the opening range, but I wouldn't take a trade off of it. I rather focus on my supply and demand zones. The core opinion on tariffs is at 10 today. You know, now that you mentioned that again, I think it could be a good reason to why it's choppy. But is it actually going to come out at 10, or are they going to say, oh, we're not coming out with it today? Like they did a couple, what was it, 2 Fridays ago or something? Or last Friday? I hope they do come out with the decision. If they do come out, then we could see a really good volume. Okay, that was a 15-minute candle. Usually I already take a trade by now, so we'll see what happens. So far, I think the market is moving sideways, It might be because the decision does come out at 10. I'm hoping it does come out at 10. Then from there, we might see some sort of good decision. Oh, this says Supreme Court's tariff decision may not bring much clarity. Damn. Why? Why? Like, where can I watch this live? Let me look on YouTube. Damn, US 30 is going back down. I wanted it to see go higher to this 4 hour area, but it did not do that. Live. Damn, like the volume's really good on US 30. There's just I wouldn't have gotten I I would have taken the shorts. I don't even know what I would have entered off of. I mean, this would have been like the opening range reversal right here. Or kind of a VWAP rejection. But yeah. I think the only way Nasdaq's gonna stop being choppy is if we get far away from VWAP, then I think it'll clear out. You know, it'll get better. Let me see on Fox News. If Fox is gonna be talking about it, then I'll watch it. Yeah, but like they're just talking about anti-ICE protesters. I don't want to watch that. Shit, it might be a long day today. You know, I know who's gonna be talking about it. Meet Kevin is gonna be talking about it. Is he live? I don't even see him live. He'll go live eventually. If Meet Kevin is live around 10, then I'll be watching him. He's for sure gonna be talking about the tariff decision. Yeah, this is chopped. This is bad. Do you trade ES? No. No. Like I want to, but I don't have much experience with it, you know? I haven't back tested it at all. I think eventually like I would definitely trade ES. Cuz it kind of reminds me of US 30 like when it comes to the points and stuff. But yeah, I just kind of had to back test it, get some experience with it. What is good after Tops Up? I would say Tradeify. Honestly, I think Tradeify is better than Tops Up right now. Not gonna lie. I never thought I'd be saying that. You know, because Tops Up is like the OG. But Tops Up has just been doing some BS recently that it don't look good for them, you know? So I don't know. I think Tradeify is better. Also with Tradeify, like you have better options as well. Also, did you guys see that funding ticks shut down thing? That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm glad. I'm glad I didn't affiliate myself with them. They shut down. That's crazy. And I had accounts with them, so gotta get a refund. Would you ever take your profits and build a personal account? Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. Why is Tradeify better? You have more options with Tradeify, right? There's select accounts. You have a daily payout option. Their payout caps, I would say their payout caps are like not as good, but they're good enough, right? They're not horrible. And also with the select accounts, like the payout cap is 5,000 or 6,000. Not sure. One of those on a 150K account. So that's pretty good. The daily payout option also is just like good opportunity to make money. Their straight to funded accounts are good as well. They have their usual, straight to funded rules. And I would say they're like the OGs of straight to funded. They're not the first ones that came out of it, but right now they've been the longest prop firm that has straight to funded options. Their payout certificates, I think they're pretty cool. What else? They have sales, right? I mean, Top Step rarely have sales. Like Top Step sales are like when they come out, it's like wow, Top Step has a sale. You got to take advantage of it. Tradeify kind of always has one though, which is good. And also, you can have 5 accounts with Tradeify, so that's also good. It's very like you can scale up with it. But yeah, there's a lot of good things with Tradeify. And honestly, I think Tradeify is like the most one of the most trustable companies now. A lot of people have gotten paid out, and with Tradeify, it's like you can't really request a payout unless you're eligible for the payout. So you rarely see people get denied payouts, because it's just like Tops Up. You can't request a payout unless you're actually eligible for one. So you rarely see denials. But yeah, I like Tradeify. Yeah, it also has no trailing drawdown. Unless it's like, I think their growth account has it, but it's an option. You know, most of their accounts are end of day. And also with the daily payouts thing, I know Take Profit Trader has daily payouts, but they also have the trailing drawdown where Tradeify has daily payouts, but they have end of day drawdown. So the daily payout option is way better with Tradeify because it's end of day. Can you tell us about Apex, how you're finding it? I mean, with Apex, I don't have much experience with Apex. I've gotten funded once with Apex, and I've gotten one payout with Apex. My experience with that was almost 3 years ago. So it's just way different. I can't really talk much about Apex, so I don't have too much experience with them. But I know they pay out if you follow their rules, and you can have 20 accounts with them. It's just they have a lot of rules on their funded accounts, and the trailing drawdown, it sucks. Yeah, but my goal with Apex is just slow and steady. Slow and steady. Don't really look for a big day, unless you have the opportunity. And then obviously the first goal is going to be to get to a balance of 2,600. Then from there I have end of day drawdown, which is going to be good. But yeah, taking it slow. I've also been very close to losing these accounts twice. So I'm very thankful I still have them. Very thankful. Yeah, the first week on these accounts was rough. It was. But then I sized down and it was perfect. I had a really clean week last week, and I think it was mainly because I sized down. Not gonna lie. Alright, 5 more minutes for 10 a.m. Supposedly they're supposed to come out with the tariff decision, so I'm hoping that's actually real. I'm hoping the news actually comes out. Because last time they said it was going to come out, it didn't. They just kind of delayed it. I also think if the tariff decision comes out, I think we'll get good volume. I was going to say, like, we'll get better direction, but we kind of already, on a bigger time frame, there's really good direction. Like, we broke out of this huge range that we were in for about 2 weeks. So that's good. If 10 a.m., if the news actually comes out, what I would want to see is, honestly, I'd want to see the range breakout, right? This 15-minute range breakout. Then from there, I want to see continuations. Right now, though, what I'm looking at is just kind of on the 5 minute time frame. You see that Christmas pattern right there. Boom. Green, red, green, red, green. Christmas pattern is dangerous. And on the 1 minute time frame, it just looks dangerous as well. Yeah, it looks tough. Looks tough. I think the best trade so far was longs right at open. And then on US 30, I mean, shit, I don't even know what US 30's on. I can't read US 30 right now. I'm going to erase this zone though. I'm also going to erase this 15-minute zone here. I think it was a really good zone. Um, I was thinking of taking a trade off of it, but then I saw VWAP right there. I was like, hell no. Hell no. I'm not trading right at VWAP. And boom, that's why I haven't taken a trade. Mainly just because of VWAP. It's dangerous. 2 more minutes. Like, where can I see this news coming out? That's what I want to know. Where should I look? Okay, maybe I can look at this. Live coverage. But, like, how is this live coverage and it's an article? Is this gonna refresh? Yeah, I don't know. Unless it's this. Yeah, no, that's not it. TI financial juice. Okay, okay, let me see, let me see. I feel like I saw that. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, I'll search it up. Tariff. Let me check if Meet Kevin's live. If Meet Kevin is live, then I'll watch him. He's not live though. Like, what? How is he not live? He's always live. Damn. Like, Nasdaq's still following that Christmas pattern. Looks bullish though. I mean, I know it's moving sideways, but to me, it just kind of looks like it wants to go up higher. You know, it looks like it's bouncing off of this area here. So far. So far. It's mainly just moving sideways though. Okay, here's 10 a.m. Let's see if anything comes out. Oh, this would also be a good place to look at. What is it called? Market Edge. News feed. Boom. I'm surprised like Fox News isn't covering this. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. But if the market moves crazy, I think we'll know why. Okay, it's like moving lower. We'll see. I'm definitely staying away from the 1 minute time frame. 1 minute time frame right now, not gonna be good. There's definitely a lot of fake outs on the 1 minute so far. Man, I'll be surprised if that ruling comes out today. I'll be very surprised. I mean, how long has it been with this whole thing here? Have a great day. If you take one, thank you. What? Now you watching me at work? It doesn't have to come out at 10 a.m. precisely. Yeah, that's gonna be tough. A lot of people are gonna wait for that. You can already tell too. Market's moving sideways. If you size down, do you target 1 to 1 or 1 to 2? I would try to target a 1 to 2, but I would close it out at a 1 to 1 if it made sense. You know, if I thought it was a good take profit, then I would take profit. But if I think it would go more into TP2, then I'd wait for it. You know, it really depends on the trade. I prefer Lucid Trading. For Rhythmic to Ninja. They have one type payment. I've traded Rhythmic with Fast Track Trading. It was like the first time I ever traded it. I thought it was cool. I don't know if I was on a Fast Track server and that's why I had issues. But my experience with Rhythmic was like there were just a couple issues. But maybe that could have been because of the server I was on. Back to the 160s. Hopefully. Hopefully. Hopefully we go somewhere. Oh damn. US 30 is going back up. I was hoping US 30 would continue lower, but it didn't. Oh, this looks like a 10 minute. Looks like US 30 bounced off of a 10 minute zone here. Yeah, if we see a crazy spike, we'll know what it's from. Most likely, the tariff decision. Damn, but it's 10:05. It's like honestly, I don't like trading later than 10. I think the entries are a bit funky after 10, but we'll see. It won't be a bad entry if there's really good volume. That's like really the only way I would trade today is if more volume kicks in, which who knows when that will happen. Trump threatens 200% tariffs on French wine ahead of ruling today. Like, what is he doing? Bro, all these threats. He's crazy. Oh, okay. NASDAQ broke the pattern. We got two red candles in a row. Let's see if we get a third red candle. Okay. What's this? Nothing important. Nothing has came out. Yeah, let's see. Still at VWAP. I don't care if it goes up or down. I just want it to go somewhere. I mean, at least on US 30. I think US 30 right now looks a bit more bearish than NASDAQ. Just because it looks like it kind of rejected this VWAP area. But we just also haven't gotten a continuation lower. So I haven't gotten a clear. I don't got a clear read today, you know? And I said I didn't have a clear read within the first. I said it around here. Within the first 2 to 3 minutes of the market opening up, I knew like it just wasn't clear to me. So like sometimes it's very clean the first 5 minutes, but with today you'll see on the 1 minute like it'll just kind of be confused. But other times it's very smooth. You get the break and retest sometimes within the first minute of market open. Sometimes it happens very quick. Today just that hasn't happened. Okay, this is gonna be the third. We're moving somewhere. This is gonna be the third red candle here. We're going somewhere. We might. I like that. And okay, I mean, like I can see this bouncing from here. I think if this closed out lower, we should have continued to go lower. But I think it'll bounce, not gonna lie. someone posted on, I think it was on Twitter, someone posted like a list of prop firms you should stay away from, and one of them that was on the list, it was it was Funding Ticks, which we already know, and it was Funded Next. I don't know why it was on the list, but makes me wonder, why was Funded Next on the list? Because Funded Next looks good. It does. But if you're on the like watch out list, then I just gotta, I can't help but wonder why you're on that list. I just got a notification on my app. Financial Juice. What did it say? Did it say anything good? Someone said the market going high on drugs. I think the opposite. I don't think the market's on anything right now. Not yet, not yet. It looks like it's about to go somewhere though. I like this move down we're seeing. And then on US 30, we're about to tap a 30-minute demand zone. But the thing with this zone is right below it, I have a 4-hour demand zone. So honestly, I don't even think I'll take a trade off of this 30-minute. I would want to see it go lower to 675. That's what I want to see. It feels like a big short is coming either today or tomorrow because the longs are not present even after the weekend sell off. Yeah, that's true. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Like usually after the market sells off overnight or over the weekend, you'll get like a strong pullback, but it hasn't done that just yet. I mean, I think on the bigger time frame as well, it looks very bearish. Not just cuz it gapped down, but also because it broke below that huge range that we were in for a while. For almost 2 weeks we were in this area, and then overnight we easily just break out of it. So that tells me something. I feel like today is just one of those days where the move is going to happen just later in the day. That's what I'm thinking. And for me it's honestly hard for me to catch those moves later in the day. The entries just aren't the same as they are when I trade the first 15 minutes. Again, unless a lot of volume kicks in, but just not seeing that. Not yet. There we go. I put a poll. This is my first poll on YouTube Live. Let's see what people decide. Do you think the market's going to go up or down? Is it no trade day for sure? Yeah, honestly, I don't think I'm going to trade. Like I don't want to trade. I don't want to. I have no desire to trade right now. But I also want to be patient because if some news does come out and the market has a great reaction to it, then I think we could catch a really good move. But it's just about the timing. When is that news going to come out? No one really knows. Yeah. I mean, I also just don't see any updates on the tariff situation. Yeah. It's definitely a buyer's market. Okay, okay. I hope it's some sort of market. I'm hoping the market actually moves somewhere. I mean, so far on Nasdaq, like I do see it bouncing off of this area here. What is this? Around 270. But I also just I don't see it breaking structure to the upside. So it makes me think the buyers are weak right now. And then on US 30, like honestly, I don't know. I mean, on a bigger time frame, to me, it looks bearish. But right now, just I don't have a good read on it. And like, I today's definitely a day where if you force something, you'll regret it. Like, only take the trade if it's actually a good one. That's what I'm waiting for. But honestly, my good trade is either gonna be around the 400s, which right now it's around 100 points away. My second good opportunity is going to be down here at the 100s, which is almost 200 points away. So the only way I'm going to take these trades is only if we get up to these areas, but that's going to take some sort of direction. This is reminding me of yesterday's market. Honestly, even though yesterday was a bank holiday, I think it was a really good bank holiday, which is rare. But I think there was a really good swing trade opportunity. Where was it? Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, right here. There was some sort of demand zone in this area here that it bounced off from. And it was just a trade that goes back into the range. I feel like on bank holidays, it's like a day, it's really hit or miss. But most of the bank holidays, it's like a day that goes back into the range. There's really no break of structure or anything. There's no direction. It kind of just moves back into the range like yesterday. I don't know how to explain it, but that's the way I see it. Okay, Nasdaq might close out below 270. I think if Nasdaq close out below 270, I think we'll see a good continuation lower. Will I take it? No. I'm not going to take that trade. I was thinking about it earlier, but earlier was around 9:40, which is my usual time to take a trade. Right now though, it's 10:20, so it's just like I don't know. Need to see good volume. Yeah, this is where I'm thinking it should continue to go lower. Or that's what I want to see. It also just slowed down a lot. Like these wicks over here were way bigger than what they are now. The candlesticks are getting smaller. Same thing on US 30, the candlesticks are getting smaller, so it's kind of like dying. While 65% of people said it would go down so far. That's what I'm thinking too. Just on the bigger time frames. I think right now it's 50-50. Yeah, I'll wait. I'll wait for 10:30. After 10:30 though, like I don't even want to look at the markets cuz then I'm going to just come up with a lie like, "Oh, this trade looks good," when in reality it's not. Yeah, I'm glad I told myself like everyone's going to be excited to trade, like don't think it's going to be a crazy day. Yeah, and it's not. See, glad I didn't take that trade. I literally thought it was gonna go lower, and it did the exact opposite. This is a crazy 1 minute candle. Crazy. Okay, did something come out? This was looking good. Let's see if we break out the opening range. Funded next denies payouts. Damn. Another prop firm that was on the no trade list was Funded Family Futures, which I've gotten a payout from. But I'm not gonna lie, guys, like I shouldn't have gotten that payout. Yo, I definitely broke the consistency rule and I still requested the payout and got approved. That was crazy. That was crazy. I was just like, I know I broke this rule, but like, let me request a payout. You never know. And then just a couple hours later, it got approved. I was in shock. I was like, what? It's funny too, because the same thing happened to me with my first payout ever on Apex. I should not have gotten that payout. I broke the consistency rule as well. I've gotten lucky. I've gotten lucky. Damn, let's see how this 5 minute closes out. I'm hoping it closes out outside of this opening range. If it does do that, I might stick around. I might have to size down though. Isn't that the Danny Trades prop? Yeah, it is. It is. I don't trade it now, but I did in the beginning of last year, and I got 13K payout. Again, that I shouldn't have gotten at all. I got very lucky. I don't trust that guy. Yeah, man. Damn, Danny Trades, like, he gave me hope. Danny Trades is like, I was in his Discord when I first started Futures, and he gave me that full port type of vibe. That's where I get it from. I get it from Danny Trades because that's where I started. That's where I get like that gambling addiction kind of from him. So that's where I started. But yeah, like he really gave me hope because it's like, damn, like 100K a day, da da da. But then like it was all fake, most likely. So it's, I don't know. It was disappointing, for sure. Okay, I mean US 30's looking good. We're tapping this 4 hour demand zone that we broke past recently. So we should kind of reject this area and go back down. But the buyers look very strong. There's also a 1 hour zone over here. So if we go up higher, could wait for that. the 80s. Could wait for that. I don't know though. If it gets below 0 0, I think I would short this. We'll see. This is a 50% line. Technically, like, I am expecting it to go back down from here. Because it's kind of like support turning into resistance. But like I said, the buyers do look strong. Just gonna have to risk it for the biscuit. The stop loss is gonna be good too. It'll be up at these highs. If I do take shorts, I would risk around 250 to 300 on this trade. If it breaks past 51, then I would wait for it to tap the 80s, which is a 1 hour supply zone up here. Oh, this is good. Nasdaq's also moving up. I like that. It's gambling for sure. I got caught up in his trades too. Yeah. Yeah, like I was in his Discord for I think 2 months. Cuz I was very new to futures, and like at that time if you searched up futures, like he's the only thing that would pop up with his trades. That's why I got into it. But yeah, like during those 2 months, like I would literally be doing like 4 full contracts. And like it was to the point, guys, where like I would take trades with him and just like add contracts like crazy. No clue what I was doing. Yeah, that was tough. Like I would blow accounts and like not even understand why. You know? But I learned the hard way for sure. Like I learned very quickly. Like damn, this is not the way. I can't do this. And it was tough too because I remember I took my first eval with his trades, like with his community, and I was very close. I was like, I think it was like $2,000 away from passing a 150K eval, and then it was on a Friday as well, like the last day of the week, and I just blew it all. I was like, damn, like I was doing really good, and then back to zero this quick. It was tough, but I learned the hard way for sure. And then once when he got exposed for the paper trade account, it was like wow, that shit really is. It's like very not expected these days, but it's like very like a lot of people do it, and it's sad, because I actually believe it sometimes, but I don't know. It gives you hope, like damn, like someone's making like 100K and like they're showing it to everyone like that's fire, and then it's just fake. I mean, it definitely could be real, like for some traders, but for most people, it's not. So it sucks. Okay, this 5 minute candle is closing out, rejecting this area. So I'm thinking if it breaks below 0.10, that I'm gonna short it. That's what I'm thinking. Only if it breaks below 0.10, then I would take shorts. And I want to see it like pretty soon here. I think if we go up higher, then obviously I wouldn't look for the shorts anymore. Nasdaq looks like a 5 minute candle closed out above the opening range. So we'll see if that continues to go up higher. And then on US 30, if it does go a bit more higher, we'll tap into a 1 hour supply zone, which is a very strong supply zone. So we'll see. We'll see. Right now, I'm thinking if it breaks structure to the downside, that I would short it. But we're getting kind of far away here. What do you think about BPC trading? I think I know who you're talking about. Let me double check. Fuck, where is he? I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed to him. I just want to make sure it's the same guy. Where is he? Let me just search him. Yes, I really like BPC trades. I like him. I watch him. Yeah, Braden. Yes. I literally watch him sometimes. Oh yeah, we're going back down here. About to break structure to the downside on the 1 minute time frame. I'm looking at the 5 minute time frame though. That's where I would take my entry out from. But yeah, I like Braden. He's a crazy trader. And my favorite part about him is that he trades micros. Yeah, he makes a lot of money with them. And he'll trade like 1 to 4 micros and make thousands of dollars in a day, which is crazy. But it's really cool to see, what's possible with micros. It's really cool. Top 3 prop firms, Tradeify. Alpha Futures is up there just because they're well trusted and they have really good rules. And for the third one, I hate to say it, but like it doesn't have to be Toss Up. But for me, it would be Tops Up because even though they have done some like shady things recently with their platform X thing, their payout rules are one of the best, unfortunately. They just need to bring back Tradeify. Or sorry, oh my gosh. They need to bring back Tradeovate. Have another platform that traders could trust because their platform X, it's just been too many mess ups with that. All right, I'm going to take out this sell order here because now obviously like we went up higher. So, I'm looking at this 1 hour supply zone here. The Nasdaq as well, we're tapping into another 1 hour supply zone and a 4 hour supply zone as well. So things are looking good. They do kind of look bullish, but I'm waiting for more confirmation to take longs. Yeah. And honestly, for me, like my confirmations are gonna have to be on the 5 minute time frame. But there's really good volume. There is. This is good though that we got away from VWAP on both US 30 and NASDAQ. Honestly though, if US 30, if I see a 1 minute candle close below 0.36, then I would take shorts. I mean, so far on the 1 minute time frame, we're kind of rejecting this area here. We're also slowing down, approaching this area. Three more minutes for the 5 minute to close. Right, honestly, right now I'm looking at both. At first, I was just looking at US 30 because we were tapping into the zone. But now NASDAQ is about to tap this 4 hour supply zone, which is a really clean 4 hour zone, I would say. So we'll see if we reject it or if we keep pushing past it. I mean, I think for NASDAQ, if it gets above 417, we could easily touch up on the gap. Okay, US 30s so far breaking structure down. And it looks like it's gonna have, or it might have, a, yeah, it did have a 1 minute candle close back below this 50% line. So if it breaks structure on the 5 minute time frame, if it gets below 0.23, then I'm gonna take a short. Or honestly, this could also be a retest and bounce off of this area. So just gotta wait and see if the order gets placed. Let's see what it does this last minute. $30. I mean, so far it's rejecting this 1 hour supply zone. I haven't gotten an entry confirmation. So kind of just waiting here. Let's see. I have a order here at 32. If it breaks this 5 minute wick here, then I'm gonna short it. Nasdaq finally tapped that 4-hour supply zone. So we'll see what it does. The 1 minute time frame just chopped, so I don't even want to look at it. What time is it? Damn, it's 10:40. Like, it's getting pretty late. But more volume did kick in. And honestly, I'm kind of hesitant on taking the long, so I just feel like if I take the long, it's gonna slow down. And I kind of don't want to be in a slow trade. But if NASDAQ does get above 424, I think we could easily tap the gap. Maybe even potentially fill the gap. But yeah, here's that 50% line. We'll see how the 5 minute closes. So far, NASDAQ is rejecting that area. And US 30 as well. But if I take the short, I think both NASDAQ and US 30 would be good. But if I take on US 30, I'd be risking less. And the stop loss would make more sense. So that's why I'm taking it on US 30. If I do take it, yeah, so far that's a nasty rejection on NASDAQ. US 30 is kind of moving sideways. I'm gonna wait about 10 more minutes. I think if we move sideways for 10 more minutes, I'm definitely not gonna want to be in a trade around 11. It's just too close to lunchtime. Yeah, I'm gonna leave my entry though at 33. On NASDAQ, usually my entry for shorts would be if it breaks this 5 minute wick here. So if it gets below 372, I would usually take shorts. It's just if I take it now, the stop loss is gonna kind of need to be very wide. Yeah. I mean, I could take it with 3 micros, but mm, it's also just moving sideways, which is just also another reason why I don't want to risk too much. Yeah, there's the shorts on NASDAQ. Let's see if they continue. If they continue to go lower, then I think US 30 should follow. Yeah, if this 5 minute closes below 357, I think it'd be a clean move down to VWAP. A clean move back down to the range. So with the shorts, you're kind of betting that the markets are going to continue to chop around, basically move sideways, which I think wouldn't be surprising, especially since the opening was weak. And also, just the rejection up here was perfect. Okay, here's US 30 moving lower. If it gets below 0.33, then I'm going to short it. Here's a new 5 minute candle. Yeah, on NASDAQ, it closed right back inside of the range. Right now, like, I do expect the shorts to come in. I want to see confirmation, which, yeah, it would be below 0.33. All right, I'm in shorts on US 30. My stop loss is going to be at the highs. It's a wider stop loss than usual, but I like it. It makes sense to me. All right, we'll see how it plays out. If it touches VWAP, then I'll definitely be break even at that point. Nasdaq looks like it's about to touch VWAP. I also definitely want to see the 5 minute close below my entry, which is at 0.33. All right, we'll see. This is the last minute of the 5 minute candle. I do want to see it close below 0.36. Honestly, I think if it closes above 0.36, I think I'll get stopped out. So that's what I'm thinking. Oh, yeah, this candle needs to close out strong. And then my TP is going to be around 931, which is just 100 points. But I do have to be careful for 970, which is the opening range and VWAP. Nasdaq looks like it's just about to tap VWAP. Looks like it wants to. I mean, I think it has a pretty good chance of doing it just because it's back inside of the opening range, you know? Yeah, the shorts on Nasdaq, I think we're a bit more cleaner. Just literally the rejection off of that 50% line was perfect. And TP VWAP, boom. US 30, I'm gonna move my stop loss down to 83. So now I'm risking about 250. 15-minute candle is gonna close out in about 2 minutes. Honestly, I do want to see the 15-minute candle close at least below 0.4. And of course below VWAP, but we'll see. I'll definitely be break even like pretty soon. Once it hits VWAP, most likely. It's about to be 11 a.m. So the 1 hour candle is gonna close out. We're either gonna see a really good move down or a pullback and get stopped out. If this 1 hour candle closes above 0.50, I think I'm cooked. Let's see, 20 seconds. Okay, I may close out right at it. This is really 50-50. Not the close I wanted to see, but I may still have the chance. I would like my stops to be at the highs. I just also don't want to risk too much. And I think if the shorts are going to come in, they should come in pretty soon. Like they did on NASDAQ. NASDAQ, they came in fast. This is also just going to be my last trade. Yeah, 15-minute candle, close out with a huge wick. Not what I wanted to see at all. Nasdaq fully recovered that move down. Okay, it's coming back down strong. Okay. Looking good. Let's see if we break this lower. Yeah, I don't want to see a bounce at 0.5 again. Bro, is that real? Did Karol G and Fade break up? That's gonna be so sad if they did. Okay, I'm definitely gonna break even here. Honestly, I might TP. I might TP. This is a good take profit area. I'm gonna lock it in here. Stops at 73. And I'm out. Okay, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. It could easily push past VWAP though. Could go lower. Nasdaq also rejected these highs. That was good. I'm gonna take it. Honestly, I like that. I like it. I'm gonna take it. We were patient enough for it. Honestly. Yeah, that was a good trade. Patient for it. Waited for a good entry and for actual confirmation. Not gonna lie though, I'm very thankful for this win, but the shorts on Nasdaq played out way cleaner, way better. Not gonna lie. I mean, it's clean on US 30, but on Nasdaq, the reaction off of this 50% line was very clean. If you look at the 1 minute time frame, the rejection off of it is clean. The wick is big, right? The rejection off of this area, and then the immediate break of structure here. That could have been my entry, but I just didn't trust it. Since it was on the 1 minute time frame, and the 1 minute time frame looks like this, I didn't want to stay on the 1 minute. So, but the entry was still clean on Nasdaq, even on the 5 minute time frame, right? The 5 minute entry here, which was right there, that was as well. It was a good entry. I just didn't take it because my 100 tick stop. I guess it would have made sense now that I look at it, but I did want it to be at the highs, and it could have been at the highs if I had that 1 minute time frame entry. But even if I got the 5 minute entry with a 100 tick stop, the take profit would have hit very fast, very fast. Right back down to VWAP. Oh, look at this take profit about to hit as well. That was 100 points on US 30, which I decided to lock in just because it was right at VWAP. But I could have just left it at break even. Not gonna lie. I guess I was just like hesitant with the previous price action. It was hard to trust, but it was a good trade. I mean, I was betting that it was going to go back down to the range, so I should have held the trade. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Either way, still a really good day. Some Chronicles sent Happy Poop for 10 jewels. I have no idea what that is, but thank you. Thank you. Trey's wine when I should go for micro. Is that micro wine? I've never traded micros on US 30. And the reason I have is because the actual contracts on US 30 are very clean. Not clean. I'm sorry. I don't mean that. They're like ES. You know, like you could slap on a full contract on ES and have a wide stop loss without risking so much. Like with US 30, with one contract 50 points, it looks like a very big move, but in reality you're only risking 250 with one contract. So that's why I don't trade micros on US 30 cuz the contracts are just a bit more they're a bit more different. Oh wow. Looks like it's bouncing up here. Let me journal this really quick and then I'll call it a day. It's not the perfect day, but it is a green day, so I'll take it. The reason I say it's not a perfect day is just because this is about a 1-to-1. Usually I would risk this in one trade, so that's why. But either way, it's still really good. Yeah. Okay. So let me screenshot this. I'm gonna screenshot this on the 5 minute time frame. And then on the 1 minute time frame. Honestly, though, I don't have to screenshot it on the 1 minute, but I will do it just because that's my way of journaling. Usually, my analysis would be on the 1 minute time frame. Today, though, my analysis was not on the 1 minute time frame because it was very slow and choppy. So I focused more on the 5 minute time frame. I took shorts on US 30. Took shorts on US 30 after it tapped a 1 hour supply zone and broke structure to the downside on the 5 minute time frame. So yeah, market tapped into this 1 hour zone. I was ignoring this 4 hour zone here, but I was more focused on the 1 hour supply zone because this 4 hour zone was kind of already ran through, right? And the reason I marked it was just because I wanted to see if this area of support / demand would turn into resistance. But if we erase this and just focus on the 1 hour zone, the 1 hour zone, if you look at it, is a very strong area of supply. If you look at the 5 minute time frame, you can see as soon as we tap into the area, the 5 minute candles close out rejecting the area. Right after I saw that, I was thinking shorts, but I wanted to see confirmation because of the previous price action, right? So my confirmation was a break of this 5 minute wick here, which was also a break below this white line here. So once I saw it get below the white line and break these 5 minute wicks lower, then I entered short. Boom. My original stop loss was 62 points, which is wider than usual. But I was thinking if the market came back up to retest this area, then the stop loss would make sense. After the market moved lower, then I felt comfortable with moving the stop loss lower to 50 points, which I did. And then 5 minute candle, well, first of all, the 1 hour candle closed out rejecting the 1 hour zone, but it did close out right at, it was one of the 50% lines like that. It closed out something like this. So I was like, damn, like I didn't like that close. Like this is really 50-50 here. But I trusted the analysis and the TP hit very quickly. Like the short was, it popped in and then it popped out just like Nasdaq. Boom, short came in, left, and then it fully recovered just like US 30. US 30 though just looks delayed, you know? It's kind of the same reaction, but it just happened way quicker on Nasdaq. Today was all right. It was really good. You know, we were patient for the trade, but I would have liked it to happen more sooner. Either way, I'll take it. You know, I'm very happy. Usually I lose on choppy days like this, but either I lose or I don't trade, you know? But today I was patient and we got the TP. So that was good. I posted the analysis on Discord where I have chart analysis chart. What am I saying? You were down a lot on those. You blew your other 20 accounts. No, I recovered them. These are the same 20 accounts. And you can see right here, I've only had one other Apex funded account. These are the next ones that these are literally my second batch of funded accounts with Apex. My first funded account with Apex was, I think it was about 2 to 3 years ago. So it was a while ago. But yeah, these are the same accounts. I was down bad on them the first week, but I fully recovered them. Yeah, thank God. Thank God. Alright, well, that was it for me, guys. Pretty late day today. We waited over an hour for this trade, but it was worth it. Honestly, like, I think the volume is really good, but it's also just not the best market, you know? Yeah. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. It was a good day today. If you're gonna keep trading, make sure you follow your rules, manage your risk, and if you're gonna take a trade, make sure that it's actually a setup that you've taken before. You know, make sure you do your analysis with it and you're patient for it.